3, 2, 1, go!
Now go home and get your shine box.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode, Wednesday night. Go get your shine box. This is Jim, and I'm with... Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, Joe, Central New Jersey. It's been a rough week, but let's see what we can make out of it.
And this is Paul up in God's country, although still part behind the Iron Curtain in New Jersey.
Telling you, with a 100-yard tunnel, you could be in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
That's not much better.
I know.
Yeah, really.
The true.
Well, we're not talking about Philadelphia, though.
We got to get to Florida. That's the state.
Yeah.
That's the freedom state.
Kind of hard to tunnel through the high water table.
Yes, it is.
But I'll tell you what, if you guys can make it past the Mason-Dixon line, I'll bring up a pickup truck with some hay in the back. You could hide under it.
Well, I happen to know that between us, we could steal a pretty sweet freaking yacht and either sail or motor our way, preferably motor our way down either off the coast or inland and make it down to Florida.
Yeah, intercoastal waterway. Yeah.
Oh, forget the only pussies travel the intercoastal. We'll go out. We'll go offshore.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
That's
out
right.
of sight of land.
Yeah. Okay. But I guess, in other words, if you're going to steal a boat, you could steal any kind of boat you want, right?
Well, I was thinking maybe one of these, confiscated oligarch Russian jobs.
Listen, you need something with a sail on it because, the fuel will be gone. You're going to be stuck.
Yeah,
you want to have some sail power.
That's planning. You got to plan, right?
Right.
So, and a diesel.
Well,
Of course.
I'm just saying if we're going to steal $1 million yacht,
Well, it'll probably be a tri-hull then. Okay.
The law kind of goes out the window from there as far as getting fuel. You know what I mean?
Arrgh. Yeah.
Hey, maybe we can get one of those Russian mega yachts that they're holding somewhere.
Yeah.
They hold like
have you been
400,000 gallons.
Have you been? What do you think I've just been talking about?
I thought you were talking about,
I think Hunter Biden's got the keys.
I thought you were talking about like a Bertram or something.
No, the Russian
marina.
oligarch boats, man.
Like
Anyway, this is a good time to
cutters, but
this is a good time to cut in with a little Dark News Network news. And this is a solemn report that I have to make. I don't know if you're all aware of this, but there was a tragedy several days ago. Twitter took away the blue check marks from all of the beautiful people, the journalists and the comedians and the actors and actresses. The best among us lost their blue checks, and there was wailing and gnashing of teeth, as has not been heard on Twitter since Elon reinstated Trump's account. And it was a sad thing. They cried, and all they had to do was sign up for the Twitter subscription service, $8 a month, and they would get their blue check mark back.
for only $8 a month.
They didn't want to pay for it?
These are men and women of principle, I tell you. And they said, nay.
Yeah.
I shall not pay the evil Nazi rocket man.
I will not pay $6, nor $9, nor $7.
Nor will I pay $8.
Unbelievable.
Because he's a man of hate. So they began the Block the Blue campaign. It was military in its scope and its precision. They were going to block anybody who's got a blue check mark, the peons who paid for them, the sellouts. Well, Elon thought to himself, this isn't fair. And he chose the loudest partisans among them and started sprinkling blue check marks back to their accounts. And alas, more wailing and gnashing of teeth. When people saw that they got their blue checks back, and they swore up and down,
it wasn't me.
They would never pay for it. It wasn't me, as Jim says. But now their fans don't know if they're sellouts or what's going on.
It's quite a conundrum.
Now, knowing
Elon,
these people,
I love Elon.
I mean, this guy is he is the ultimate troll. But anyway, that was a good time over the weekend, watching them all lose their collective shit, you know. So anyway, that's the latest report from Dark News Network.
Are you tired of being a nobody on Twitter? Do you desperately crave the validation of a blue checkmark next to your name? Are you a lonely celebrity seeking attention? Look no further, because Saving the Twitter Blue Check is here to offer you a solution. We'll guide you through the complex and arbitrary application process and help you jump through all the hoops to obtain that coveted blue check. And the best part? You don't have to do any of the hard work yourself. Just donate to our Buy Me a Coffee page and we'll take care of the rest. Because let's face it, who needs actual credibility when you can just buy your way to the top? Saving the Twitter Blue Check, because validation is just a donation away. Brought to you by the guys at Go Get Your Shine Box.
Hey, this might be a good time to talk about the newest endeavor, I guess you can call it.
We have an endeavor.
BuyMeACoffee.com. So we signed up for BuyMeACoffee.com, and you can actually go on there and donate, or a quick amount, or you can subscribe for a certain amount. We have different levels out there. You go to BuyMeACoffee.com/shinebox, and you can find it there. Also embedded the button on the website, so you can just hit that up either on your phone or on your computer, and just smash that button. That's at 10mmm.org. Also, obviously, I'm going to link all the links to the content in the description of all our podcasts, including Rumble and on YouTube, if we continue to use them. And of course, shineboxcontact@gmail.com is our direct email address. Here's another one that's out there on a link, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It's the Twitter handle. It's at frickin' Shinebox, and that's going to be spelt a little different. FRIKKEN Shinebox, at frickin' Shinebox. So check those out when you get a chance. And as always, they're in the descriptions of all our podcasts that we release. That's right. We got to do some more call to actions, because we need some more followers on Twitter too. I'm not really. It's funny because I was listening to Clay and Buck today, and they were talking about how they need to get their membership up on YouTube because that's where the young kids are. But young kids today, it's like whack-a-mole. They're over here, they're over there, they're over there, whatever. But anyway, so we took care of some housekeeping. So
yeah, and all kidding aside, we do appreciate and are humbled when we do get donations. It is very humbling, and we love you all a long time.
Joe.
Anyway. I just had I just nodded off there for a minute.
Okay. Oh, that's just great. Well, let's just jump right into it. This topic actually we're going to discuss tonight was about the Dominion, not the machines, the actual lawsuits and what was going on with Fox. Lo and behold, while we were in the midst of doing some research, Tucker got fired, and so did Bongino, and some other dude on CNN that's been there 17 years. I don't remember his name. It's not important.
Insignificant asshole.
Yeah. Well, CNN. So, what do you think? I mean, we talked about this in the beginning of the week, and Paul was convinced Dominion's got nothing to do with it. And then stuff started moving around. The pieces are moving around the board, and I don't know. Maybe there's something to that theory. But we got a couple of our own as usual. What do you think?
We look a little deeper than just what's on the surface. I mean, you just can't listen to the left wing morons and take it for their word. You got to look for yourself. You have to dig to find the information, because it's amazing how you see something and all of a sudden it disappears.
Right.
Well, let me give you my initial take and a couple of words on how disgusting the whole freaking world is. My initial take was
what part is disgusting? You have a particular part?
Tucker there was no liability on Tucker's part as far as the lawsuit goes. So that didn't sound logical.
Yeah.
But Dominion is trending now because everybody thinks that BlackRock owns Dominion and BlackRock owns Fox, so they got together and pulled some kind of circle jerk. Well, it turns out that's false. That's the wrong Dominion. It's not Dominion Voting Systems. It's Dominion Energy. So I went and looked into Dominion Energy, and they're run by a couple of ex-Carlyle Group guys. Hey, can one of you guys look this up? Look up Carlyle Group and see if Ken Griffin was part of, I don't know if he was Carlyle or Citadel. Either way, Carlyle was a like a Soros affiliated group. And this is the disgusting part. It's all like incestuous.
Yeah, no doubt.
But my opinion that it was they were pressured into it. From whom I'm not sure, but it's because Tucker was speaking truth. He was talking about the military going woke. He was talking about the intel people spying on Americans. He was talking about the lies about January 6th, that it wasn't an insurrection. It was just a riot, and there were other questions that needed to be asked, mainly participation by the government, which is a certainty. We know that, and nobody else is asking it. He was asking questions other people wouldn't ask. And with the elections coming up, they can't have that. They want a unified message. Anybody who's asking serious questions has to be gone. That's my initial assessment.
Well, I think it's a pretty good assessment.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's all kinds of stuff out there, and since we're, nobody knows for sure. But back to the settlement, 787 million, somewhere around there.
787.5.
Okay, and one of my questions is, and we're going to intermingle the Tucker stuff with the Dominion, because
that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. It just seems like the right thing to do. And by the way, I just wanted to throw this in. Tucker's not dead. And I'm saying that to these whack jobs like little Sandy Horseface Cortez. Tucker's not dead. Okay,
no.
He's not dead. He's going to be bigger and better, and we don't know what. But we're gonna throw our best guess out a little bit later.
I was just telling you before we came on. Tucker hired a lawyer, and that news is buried. You see it anywhere?
Yeah.
Wait, no? What do you mean? The guy who's working his contract out with Fox?
He hired a lawyer. He's in the process of apparently suing Fox for wrongful termination or whatever. But he's going back after Fox.
Is the guy named Friedman?
I don't know who it is. I forget.
You want to hear something funny? That's the same lawyer is representing Don Lemon.
I think it's the same lawyer.
It's the incestuous. Remember the incest I was telling you about?
He happens to be whatever lawyer it was from what little bit of information I got. He's supposed to be like top notch about it. But yeah, it has to do with his contract. It has to do with the whole ball of wax, and also he's the same lawyer that represented, I believe. What's that woman's name? No. The other Fox host, the blonde.
Glenn Beck.
O'Reilly.
Megan Kelly. And he represented her. So I mean, this guy's used to that stuff. But I don't know. It seems like from a little bit that I heard that people say, that he might be that Fox might be a little bit afraid because they're first of all, they're on a campaign right now trying to make Tucker look bad. You should have heard some of the stuff that they were saying that was coming out of the Wall Street Journal and some of that crap. I mean, they're discrediting him. They're really starting to make him out to be the real bad guy.
Cough, cough. Check the chat. Cough, cough.
Yeah, well,
no, we get that for sure. And it's funny because he doesn't have a horse in the race. Jeez, oh man, he's not running for office. You know. So
yeah, but they want to discredit him because they don't want him. They want to end him. They want to disappear him.
I'm not going to deplatform him. We know that. But anyway, we're going to pick up that a little later with our best guess of what's probably going to happen. So back to the Dominion thing. Why did they settle? We kind of went through some of that incestuous stuff. We really don't know why they settled. It doesn't make any sense because this is obviously a First Amendment case that they would have won.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but and the interesting part about this whole thing is this clip I'm about to play, a little bit on the long side for what we normally play. But this, if we got this clip, the three of us got this clip, then this for certain would have told you that the people at Fox wouldn't have had to settle. I'm sure they had access to this montage, and if they didn't, they could call us and we'll give it to them. So here it goes.
Touchscreen computer voting because it's so vulnerable.
Right.
We need to look at all the voting machines. Every Secretary of State needs to be, assisted in making sure that they are not being hacked and attacked.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risk.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, right, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
Workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So what was the purpose of this settling? That, by the way, was a montage of all Democrats from anywhere from 2016 to 18.
Yeah, and 2 years later, we had the most secure election in history, according to the intel agency, CISA, or whatever they were. Now, if you're still believing the narrative that they're shoveling on you, then you deserve what's coming.
You deserve your leadership, as they say.
Yeah.
But this is again, and it intermingles. Could it be coincidence? Yeah, probably to some degree. But for crying out loud, there's just overwhelming evidence out there that screams First Amendment case. There's no standing whatsoever for Dominion to get any capital. And if anything that we were talking about is true as far as the link, but of course you're saying it's Dominion Energy. I still think BlackRock has a part of Dominion Energy, but that's neither here nor there. They're paying themselves anyway. I guarantee the 787 isn't going to be 787. And like Joe was saying earlier, this is big money to us, but to them, it's probably a day's worth of moving some funds around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, BlackRock is a $10 trillion company, or is it 20? I don't even remember.
I thought it was 23, but who's counting?
Whatever. Maybe it's more. The numbers are just so mind-boggling. I can't even keep up with them anymore.
I think we were having this conversation last week. We were talking about the
about something.
The luxury apartments that are being built in this country. I mean, I'm in the construction business. I see these places going up. Luxury apartments, all under different names. But when I did a little research and looked these companies up, I found that they all go back to BlackRock. It's just there. I can only guess what this is all about.
This is the what's his name? Schwab's.
Yes, you will live in the pod. You will own nothing.
Yeah, you will own
and
nothing.
You will
like
be
it.
happy.
Yeah, and that other freaking moron. And when I look at this guy, was it from BlackRock? The one that was the condescending prick.
Larry Fink.
Yeah. I instantly think Pike when I see him. The guy is a freaking vile...
We're getting back to Pikes, huh? Okay.
Well, like the Turnpike. He's a vile, nasty, condescending individual. Oh, he's another one that thinks he's going to be buried in gold.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but he knows he can not only move, he can move countries, he can move governments. Yeah. That's how much power this guy wields.
You know how much you know what he can't do?
What?
He can't buy himself with all his money. He can't buy one more minute on this earth when his time is up. That's what he can't do.
That's true.
You know? Yeah. Didn't somebody write a song? Kansas, it was. All your money, not another minute can you buy. You condescending prick.
He is a bad guy, and he is the foremost pusher of this green bullshit and this EIG.
10-minute cities.
Yeah, what's that?
These 10-minute cities or 15-minute cities.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well,
they're just all that is extracting money via the government from the people, extracting money for him and his friends.
That's it.
You know,
it's disgusting.
They are vampires sucking the resources out of the dying body of the United States of America to get well before the dark times come.
You hear what they're going to do now with if you have a good credit rating?
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here? So you work hard, you develop a good credit rating, and then you get penalized for it.
Effectively, it's white people are going to subsidize black people. Same thing we did back in mid to late 2000s.
That worked out.
That was Bill Clinton who put that into effect.
Right.
And I think Bush probably amped it up while he was in there.
Well, so we're going to listen to this guy now, not to do it the complete cold cut, but getting back to the Tucker Dominion link.
We always seem to drift.
Well, I know we're drifting.
The cat herder.
That I got to tell you, that wasn't the best herding job right there, but whatever. If some of this stuff flares a conversation, it's so be it. We're really cooking here. This is real what we're doing. This isn't planned out. Other than the fact that somebody at least has the common courtesy to write an outline.
You're welcome.
And by the way, I did try to find Tucker's phone number. I figured I'd give him a call.
You wanted Tucker's phone number?
Yeah. I was going to get him on the call tonight, but he was doing a celebratory dinner with his wife.
Okay. Well, I figured the worst thing you say is bite me or whatever.
I didn't want to bother him. He's a decent guy. So anyway, here's a blast from the past. See if you recognize this guy's voice. And this guy does it with conviction too.
Do we get a prize or
I wasn't real thrilled that this was on what I always forget that guy's name. I don't know why. The governor's brother that was on CNN.
Oh, Cuomo.
Cuomo, yeah, this was on Cuomo's show, but this is Bill O'Reilly. So check it out.
All right, so all of this BS about, the decision was made last week or it was made during the Dominion, that's all not true. The decision was made Sunday evening, okay? And there were two reasons why, but I'll get to that in a moment. So Fox News did not want to remove Tucker Carlson because, as you pointed out, he was the second highest rated program on the network next to The Five, and he was the most well-known individual host. So they didn't want to move him out. But there are lawsuits coming on the wake of Dominion They lost 800 million plus on Dominion. And now you have Smartmatic coming up, and you have 2 individual lawsuits, actually one filed and one that may be filed. And that was the key.
So that was kind of interesting because we're right back to the mixing of the two. So there is a quasi link, if you want to call it that.
Well, hey, that's a possibility. I'd have to give Bill O'Reilly the edge in having insider information.
Yeah, I believe he still has. I think he still keeps in touch with some of the women that he sexually harassed. But that's just a claim. I was just joking. So
allegedly.
But I don't know how getting rid of Tucker helps that, because Tucker, like I said, none of his emails or text messages or anything add any weight to Dominion or Smartmatic.
I think it was
none of his stuff helps their case.
Don't you think that if they got rid of Tucker, they're going to lose money? But if they kept Tucker, Tucker would continue to make money for them to help pay for some of the lawsuits that they're putting out.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although there is a question how much Tucker makes, because a lot of all the commies going after Tucker got a lot of his advertisers to drop. So he does bring eyeballs.
And what we really don't know is if any of these companies or any of these potential lawsuits made a backdoor deal with Murdoch's son. So
that's another question. We don't know the personalities. I mean, I heard this afternoon another theory that I guess one of Murdoch's girlfriends or fiancés or whatever was a big fan of Tucker, and she broke up with him, so this was a punishment to her.
Oh yeah, he's 98 and she was 62. She was a spring chicken in his world. Yeah.
That's kind of silly, but we're still in fog of war until we know. We're just going to be speculating.
And don't forget, these are petty people. These are these are the type of people that would actually make a knee-jerk decision like that and lose billions or millions in this case,
just to hurt somebody or ruin a certain somebody or whatever.
I don't know if it's an irony or if it's the way life is, but oftentimes these millionaires are just as petty and ridiculous and petulant as they come. Maybe because they have that FU money. I don't know. But you look at talk about going off track. You look at Elon Musk. That guy is petty and petulant and having a blast, and we all love it. So I don't know. It's how you. I guess it's your perception. But here's the Dominion link that from O'Reilly too. And I wasn't going to play that whole thing straight through because he as he put in his show when he used to be on, he's quite the bloviator. So but check this out.
So one of Tucker Carlson's producers apparently taped a whole bunch of stuff. Her lawyer went into the Fox attorneys and said, unless you pay so-and-so some money, we're going to sue you. And Fox said, we're not paying. So they filed suit in New York City. And they had the tapes, and those tapes may be released to the public. All right? And they're not good tapes for the Carlson program. The second thing was last night on 60 Minutes. Ray Epps, you may remember that name, said to the audience, Tucker Carlson ruined my life and my family's life by accusing me of having some kind of provocative role in the January 6th riots at the Capitol. That was setting Epps up for a massive lawsuit against Fox News and Tucker Carlson. So that's 3 lawsuits we know about, and there'll be more by shareholders who are angry about the $800 million settlement, and they're going to go after the Murdochs and the board of directors. Faced with that, the board of directors said, we got to start cleaning this up.
So, there's a little bit more to it,
What does Ray Epps, what does he possibly have for a lawsuit? We got him on videotape inciting riot. I mean,
you know what he has, Joe?
What's he got? he has the
filed in New
Democratic
York.
Party on his side.
Yeah,
He filed in New York.
He's got the DA, he's got the jurors, he's got the judges. The same thing Dominion's got. Same reason that All
right, so then it doesn't matter about the substance of the lawsuit. It has to do with we're gonna take down another Republican.
And
it has to do with the radicalization of the courts. That's
and by the way, firing Tucker doesn't moot the lawsuit.
Well, if it was a corporate lawsuit, it would keep it. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't bring as much attention to them. I think that's what his point was. Ray could go after Carlson individually, but there would be no more standing because he was doing it under the guise of a corporate, position.
Well,
so, I'm not a lawyer, but it's a lot more difficult to just say, oh, that guy had a show on Fox for how many years, the #1 show in the country, so I'm going to sue him individually. It doesn't work that way.
No, but he'll go after Fox whether Tucker's working there or not because the incident already occurred.
And again, it could be a placate move.
Yeah, that's the only thing it would be.
Do you know that? Did he actually file in New York, or were just threatening to file?
That's what he said. He was going to do it, and he was going to file in New York. And I don't even know where this bald bastard popped his head up from because he's guilty as sin. Okay, and I'm not saying he's on a payroll as we know it, but he's on a cash payroll with one of the agencies. And God help us if we find out that he's on the CIA payroll, which I heard a rumor of, but I seriously doubt, because there's so many federal laws being broken if that's the case. That this isn't even funny. But to Paul's point, because I know what he's saying right now, he probably just rolled his eyes. Law? What's law got to do with it?
Right.
It's
what I want to know is how come they haven't arrested him? Because he was there at January.
Yeah,
he was there at January 6th.
And not only haven't they arrested him, but now we got CNN, Adam Kinzinger, 60 Minutes, all doing fluff pieces on this guy and making him out to be a hero. He's
claiming that he was a Trump supporter and he was there because he was fighting for, the election that was stolen. Well, if this was an insurrection like everybody's saying, then he's part of the insurrection. Why isn't he arrested?
Something stinks like stale French fries.
Yeah.
Something's not right. So,
but blatant. But the worst part about it is that we know something's not right. Obviously, we're not stupid, but they're doing it right in front of us. Like screw you. We know that you know that we know that you know.
And they get more blatant.
And there's nothing you can do, but you just take it. You're gonna take it.
Look at some of the stuff the Biden administration has done.
Oh,
it's almost is starting to remind me like a Get Smart episode. There's no in chaos. And unfortunately, I think Biden would play the part of Get Smart or Maxwell Smart, but he's chaos. So, but the Tucker angle, it fits in here. And besides, we want to have a little homage because we like Tucker, and he's not going anywhere. He'll be back. But that being said, we had a couple of theories going on out there.
We do.
We don't?
About what's going to happen, you mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about the little discussion he had with Musk. He brought Musk up on the token gays Republican gay show. What's his name? With the beard.
Rubin.
Ruben, yeah. He talked about him there, and so
beware Rubin, beware Daily Wire, beware all these guys.
Well, I think that Tucker and Paul, I don't want to steal your thunder because I think this was your idea.
Good, then stop talking and let me tell it. I was the
I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Eat dead bird.
Well, I didn't think I was being that.
Kill.
Yeah, I was just trying to play that anyway. So
that's a new one. Anyway, my quick theory was, and this occurred to me instantly. I may have mentioned my brain tumor that lets me see the future and shit.
You might have, yeah.
Anyway, I mean, this was like a flash of instant foresight that, Tucker just had Elon on his show for an extended interview. They probably spent like a whole day together or whatever. And Elon's been talking about turning Twitter into the trusted news source, having citizen journalism and all that. The obvious thing is that Tucker would be involved somehow, setting up some sort of Twitter news where, maybe citizens can call in with crap happening in their town or whatever, something, and fact checking each other. Like today, this Dominion thing going on. Then where I found out that Dominion Energy was on a Twitter community notes, if you know what they are. They're fact checks on various important tweets. And they said, no, this is not Dominion Voting, it's Dominion Energy. So that, if we could apply that, I don't care if it's both ways. You know what I mean? We make mistakes too. But,
well, yeah, and this was prior to, and apparently Tucker was shocked on Sunday night or Monday morning to find this out. So
that's what I hear. Yeah.
So this could be a fallback thing, and I was gonna call Elon, and because I wanted to coin it Twitter Plus, the streaming service.
I tagged Elon on thing, and I just said, "Hey, Elon, have you spoken with Tucker since the whatever they called it, the separation or whatever?"
Yeah,
he didn't get back, but I'm going to keep going after him.
Jim, have you spoken to Elon?
Last night we had a lengthy conversation, and I was talking about. I didn't realize he was from South Africa, but he is the most rich, famous African American in this country.
Afrikaner, man.
Yeah. Elon and I are like this.
By the way, Afrikaner is going down. Not Afrikaner, but now that the blacks took over South Africa's.
Oh my God, that's been degrading ever since they let what's his name out of jail.
Yeah, they're really screwed now, though. They're in big trouble.
Fox Nation is going to it's going down the toilet. Not, of all the sound effects we have, I don't have a flushing toilet because this would be the perfect time. That's going away.
That would be a good
Bongino's not there anymore. Who's next? Now the Water Boys and girls are tiptoeing around the whole Tucker thing. My favorite tongue-in-cheek, Kilmeade, came on. Boy, what a disingenuous little 15-second snippet he gave when they put him in Tucker's chair, and you ain't filling his shoes. Sorry, Kilmeade.
No. I heard rumor has it that they were going to put Jesse Waters in his slot.
That's one long flushing toilet.
Hey, I was under the gun there. All right.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, I wouldn't mind Jesse. He's not bad. He's got good hair. But so what are you gonna do? So
yeah, that's it. He's got good hair.
So he's got good TV hair.
Yeah.
But I mean, wrapping it up back to the beginning and then hitting the end, the First Amendment implications on this thing is ridiculous. This is a civil suit against protected speech is what this is, this whole Dominion thing. And the problem is the precedents are going to continue. And if you look at this so-called, people were saying on social media, oh, Trump is on trial for rape. Well, yeah, no, he's not actually. The alleged attack took place so many years ago, the statute of limitations would be over. They're twisting and perverting the system like they do with everything else, and they're going after him civilly. This is unheard of, to put somebody on a stand to civilly find him liable for rape, which, by the way, the preponderance of evidence is a lot lower.
All you got to do is look
case.
At this lady.
Well, yeah. So it's a little for shot.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of the First Amendment, if you think you still have a First Amendment, ask Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They snuffed him as the sitting president of the damn United States.
Right. So hey, look at that guy doing 10 years for making a meme.
Yeah, right.
He's a political prisoner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God bless America. All right, guys. Well, unless you got anything else you want to add, we'll wrap it up.
No.
Yeah,
Did
I think
anybody?
we're good. That was good coverage.
Did you watch the speech? Did you watch Tucker's speech? By the way.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we should cover that in length.
Which one from Heritage?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome speech.
I didn't
awesome
watch the whole thing. No,
yeah, it's worth listening to. He was on fire.
Yeah, maybe we'll cover it.
Well,
All right, guys,
he's good friends with Alex Jones, so
yeah.
That's where he gets some of his
zeal.
Yeah. Anyway, didn't mean to interrupt.
Nah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.